Hey guys, Ted Bogert here with the Ted Show and so many other things. But today I'm excited. I'm with one of my best friends. He's the amazing Derek Carmichael, and we're here to launch InvestorYOU. You can put a play on that if you want, investor with a capital U, but it's really about you and the investor and all things surrounding investors. Derek is incredibly knowledgeable. I'll let him explain. He was thinking about this idea. He was also thinking about it as well. So we're going to bring you a whole bunch of great information and great guests every single week, all focused on investing. And it's going to be magical. I have no doubt in my mind because Derek is magical. He's a homegrown boy. And he's got a great laugh and a great sense of humor and an amazing business acumen. So welcome, Derek. It's our first show of InvestorYOU. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Fantastic.
Man,
I'm excited to launch this. It's been in me for a little while. A whole bunch of investor panels, a couple with you. And so I'm like, God, there is really an appetite for this out there. And there's also a whole bunch of BS floating around out there. And so we want to bring it to you straight from the people who are in it and in the trenches all day long and have them share their journey. But enough of my mouth. Derek Carmichael, tell them all about you.
Man, I want to piggyback on what you're saying. I'm excited about this because since I've been in the business since 2017, as far as the investment world, I recognized early that a lot of folks don't really understand that hard money exists. And when I say hard money, real estate products, like investor real estate products that will allow investors to scale their business. That's the whole thing about this, right? You don't have to go the traditional route. And so something that I know in the last, I don't know, I guess since December, we've kind of been going back and forth. And I felt that I needed to link up with you. We needed to kind of have some more conversation, that this thing was coming at some point, that we can just give raw and real information. We're not going to sugarcoat it, not here to make you feel good or bad, just to give it to you raw. So you know how to kind of produce, whatever it is that you need to produce in your business and help you go from A to Z. That's what we're here to do.
We're going to give it to you hard.
Hey, that's it. Ted goes hard. We put it there for a reason, baby. I don't want to be censored, but I just want to be honest. Like I see it every day that people who have done tons of deals are struggling now to do deals because they can't find money and their banks are tightening up. And I'm like, hey, we can help you. There's hard money products that will expand your rental portfolio, short-term rental, long-term, fix and flip. Although there's not too many fix and flip properties right now. The strategy on how to get it rehabbed, right? Get your 10% down if you qualify, refi it, rent it out, the whole nine. That's what people are doing right now. Folks need to understand that this is still viable. You can still make plays out here with the elections coming, with all the crazy stuff going on. Investors haven't slowed down, and this is how they're doing it. Now,
they haven't slowed down.
No, not at all. I mean, I did 6 transactions last month, right? Just total real estate transactions. One was a retail listing. Everything else was hard money loans. Out of those loans, 5 were all refis. Someone who took something down, right? And I might have written the fix and flip loan on it months ago, January, February time, but now it's ready for the refi, right? And those came to pass now, and that's what investors are doing. Because if you can't fix and flip, you can get best of both worlds, where you go in with the 10% down, get 100% of rehab, call me up in 3 months, 90 days, 120 days, whatever it may be, get your refi over. Our rates are just as aggressive as traditional lending right now. I
want to talk about it because remember, we're gonna educate them. It's InvestorYOU. So I want you to dumb it down, pretend you're talking to me on a regular basis, and talk about fix and flip, rehab, why you'd fix and flip, and why the benefit is to refinancing. Because I think there are investors out there who have played a little bit, played when the market was hot, played when the inventory was a lot for fix and flips, and now they're not really sure what to do. So let's define some of those things for people, just so they know, because hard money, a lot of people used to have such a horrible reputation, and it's such a great vehicle. So let's give them some definitions of the things you just shared.
Okay, you got it. So let's start with, I would say, the product that most folks are looking for. Everyone will call and say, hey, do you have 10% down? In other words, what they're asking for is, do you have a product that will allow me to purchase something and rehab it, right? So it's a bridge loan. aka fix and flip loan. I'm giving you up to 90% of your purchase price and 100% of the rehab. That money will get escrowed. You don't get it directly to your account. We don't need to see you in the Bahamas having a good time. This money is going into an escrow account. We're going to release this thing in draws, right? But you're going to complete this project. And at that point, you may have assessed this strategy, this project as a fix and flip, because at the time that you analyzed it, at the time that you even closed with me, it was a good flip. Market maybe changes 15%, 10%, 5%, whatever percentage. The market may have come down. Maybe you can't sell it. Rates are kind of high. People aren't buying. Whatever those issues are, you may say, hey, you know what? I want to keep this for 2 years, 3 years. After it's going to make a great rental. It'll cash flow. You call me up, and then we move you into the next product that people are loving, which is our stabilizing bridge, which is anywhere from 12 to 24 months. Or we go into our long-term rental, which is basically a conventional loan for investors, right? So now you're looking at 30 years, guys. And what that'll do is I can go up to 75% LTV, get your refi cashed out, call it anywhere between 20 and 30 days. Right now, I'm averaging about 25 days to get that done. We give you as much cash as I can. I'm putting it back in your pocket. You're able to rent this thing out and receive passive income, which we know is wonderful. And then you can go on and flip another property. So I just discussed two projects or two programs, fix and flip, separate, and then you roll that over to a 30-year note. And again, something like that, my rate is as low as 7% on those if you qualify. I know.
So why would somebody go? I think I do know the answer, but let's just remember, educate these people, our wonderful people, because I need educating all the time. Why would somebody go the hard money route rather than traditional? What is it, a credit score thing? Is it a paperwork thing? In your experience, why would that be attractive to someone?
What a great question. I think everyone's going to benefit from this. So there's multiple answers to this. It could be credit. DTI is a thing, the first thing you're going to want to ask on Ted's side, right, is, hey, what's your income? Let's see those taxes. Let's get all this stuff that people really probably don't take care of properly, right? So it stops them from buying a typical, or going with a typical mortgage. We're not asking any of that stuff. Does your credit meet the requirement, which I can go as low as 600? And do you have the cash to close? We're very asset based, right? So does the investor have the money that we would need on the day of closing? If that's $35,000, is there $35,000 in his bank account? There is, 2 thumbs up. Now, does this property perform? If the property performs, we're good to go. Most lenders on the traditional side are going to say, hey, man, that thing needs a roof. It needs X, Y, and Z. And we can't touch it. Right. But we're like, that's great. And we're going to give you money to fix it. Right? Maybe, and for the guys that have millions of dollars, I know the scenario. There's people who have millions of dollars, hundreds of doors, and their DTI is off. And the banks are saying, hey, we can't touch you. We love you. Let's go get steak, but we can't touch you. Right? That's when you want to call me as well. Now, understand the program shift. You're going to have a higher rate. You're not going to have, you're not going to have 100% LTV on the hard money side, but you're also going to be able to buy multiple doors at one time, flip multiple properties, buy multiple rentals, do multiple new builds, and no one's going to bother you because you have the experience and you have the capital to close, do 1,000 transactions this year. So if you want to scale your real estate business, that's when you want to call me.
So let's go back a little bit, because I'll ask from the traditional side. So you'll go down as far as 600. So credit score is looked at, but you go lower than most traditional programs are going to go. What about paperwork, tax returns, bills, DTI?
Nope. I don't care. It's funny how many times folks will call me and then, you can tell they're trying to get through I can show you this. I can show you that. No. I don't care that you make 6 figures on your job. I don't even want to talk about it. Right. Stop right there. Let me help you. Hey, man, do you have money in the bank? Is there money in your 401k? Can you cash out some crypto and have $75,000 in your bank by the time we're ready to close? You can? All right, let's move forward. We don't.
Do you care where the money is as long as it's in the bank?
I mean, hey, listen, Mom and dad can give you the money for all we care, right?
We on the traditional side, we look at gifting and we look, so it adds another layer, even though it's a great thing. Sometimes it's not a great thing because they can't tell us where they got it from, or it doesn't qualify under the gifting. You all don't care as long as that money's in the bank.
Hey, just have that money in the bank. And you know what? In some cases, again, every lender's different. It's not going to kill any deal. You just may have to give us an LOE on where you got 100 grand from real fast, right? We just want to make sure you're not over here John Gotti. You know what I mean? Like, we just want to make sure that, we're not funding a felon, right? Because we won't. So the things that will disqualify you, bankruptcy and felon, bankruptcies and foreclosures in the last 2 years, felonies in the past 10, right? So we got to look out for those things, which, there's ways around that. Put a spouse on the business, put a brother, a child, somebody who's clean, put them on, and we move forward. But yeah, you're pretty, it's not like the wild, wild west that it once was. It's a little bit more structured, but they're still looking to give you this money. We want to give you this money.
What about like LLCs and trusts and things like that?
I will only give you money if it's in an LLC or a corporation, that type of situation. Trusts are fine as well. I actually recommend you do everything for your business under an LLC. And I also recommend you put that under a trust. Cover yourself. Right? Because if something happens and you get into a crazy car accident and these people want to come sue you and it's all in Ted's name, well, they're going to come after your properties too. They're going to come after that. But they can't come.
I'll give you the dollar I have in my wallet. I have actually Joe Siegel's on the show Friday, and we're talking nothing about nothing but land trusts. So it's good stuff. Yep. So I want to also give people your perspective. You're a broker, you're a realtor, you're in the real estate world. So maybe give some, because I have realtors ask me all the time, they'll talk about hard money, but they've got that face, that face of, oh God, it's going to be so much down. The interest rate's going to be triple digits. Talk a little bit to your real estate brothers and sisters, because I think it would be good to educate them on what this can do for them as far as expanding the reach.
So, that's a great place to go. I do love having this conversation with any agent that I meet, because the retail world, we're not moving doors like we were 2 years ago, right? Things were kind of crazy before. And everyone was putting in 20 offers and you're getting all this crazy stuff and you were king and queen. Now the market's kind of shifted a little bit and we're all kind of fighting for listings and fighting for buyers. I tell folks the number one thing, be diverse, right? I scream this in business, whether you're a restaurateur, you're in real estate, whatever it is, have multiple ways of getting money. And for us, we can list a property, we can have buyers, we can have property management. And in that place, have investors. Have investors. One investor may be good for 10 deals a year. So you know that one investor every year is going to work with you on finding properties, and that could be a buy and a sell, right? You help them with the contract on the purchase side. You get a commission. You help them sell the property. Or, hey, maybe you help them buy it and then you property management for them. Whatever your angle is, have investors. If I were to build a team under me right now, they would all have to move like I move. They would all have to have listings. They would all have to be working with buyers, and they would all have to have at least one investor and know the hard money space. I would require that.
Know it. Yeah, you got to know it. You have to know. You have to educate yourself, and that's sort of what we want to do with InvestorYOU, this series, because there's so much misinformation out there. One of the products, I just got a phone call. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a what we like to call foreign national in the non-QM traditional side. Talk a little bit about international buyers on the hard money side.
So yes, we work with international buyers, right? So our foreign national everyone has a program for that. No one's scared of it. Same exact down payment that you guys are working with, same thing that we do. Matter of fact, there's even, if they have a business and it's been established for a while, and they have some sort of, I would say collateral here maybe, or just some sort of presence in the United States, they may even be looked at as a typical buyer in some lenders. So some lenders will do just the typical, the regular LTVs for them because they have something here. They can't run as easy. But we love foreign nationals. I think agents should absolutely be working with them because they're buying up the United States of America.
They are but agents are afraid of them. They're afraid.
No,
they don't understand, because what's happened is they're afraid because they think the paperwork is just going to be so laborious, and but these investors, I hate that term, international buyers, they know what they're getting themselves into because they've probably done it before. So they're 100% ahead of you. So they're educated and they're ready to go. And you're not going to scare them.
Here's the crazy part. It's probably better than where they're living, and they want to put their money here. We are still for sale, right? It hurts when you hear that America's for sale, right? For pennies on the dollar to them, but it is. Look at all the hedge funds that are owned by foreign companies. Why do you think they're doing that? Yep. Billions of dollars are coming from China. You can't stop it. Russia. They're buying up everything. So they need agents that are savvy. They need aggressive agents that will go on their behalf and fight. They're not here, and so they're going to trust you. They have to trust you, and they're great for buying up all kinds of doors at one time. They might not be, and I'll be honest with you, I don't see a lot of them flipping property. They're buying up commercial. They're buying up multifamily. They're buying up single family. You know, you've heard me talk about this, Ted. We have to do an episode on this, but I talk about build to sell and build to rent, right? Build to sell is so massive right now. Who you think's doing a lot of that building? Don't get me going down that route and me getting angry about how everybody owns America, but we don't own it, right? But we're not buying. They're coming in. They're aggressively buying stuff up, man. And so they absolutely should be marketing to this. You know, my marketing partner, Courtney, she's already talked about that. She was with me for a little bit, and so I was going, why aren't we hitting some foreign nationals or international buyers, as you would say?
No. You should use that because it's the international buyers. Just me. It sounds so. In 2023, we're calling them foreign. I don't know. I like international buyers. It sounds prettier.
On this show, it's international buyers.
I like it. So as we wrap up, I want to kind of give people an idea of what's coming up. I mean, we're going to have guests on the show. I've got a ton of long-term, what I would consider the fix and flip kings and queens of the world that are going to come on the show. We've got people in the title world that we want to get their perspective on. We've got people in the business, investors in business that we want to bring on. There are so many sides of this on the investor part, and there's so many moving parts. And I think the biggest message that we can give you is that if you're not in it, we're going to try to educate you enough to at least get in it and feel good about it, because there is so much money being left on the table because people are afraid to either be an investor or they're afraid to engage investors in their business. One other thing you mentioned, commercial, because I know people are going to ask about that. Define commercial in the hard money world and what that looks like from your perspective.
Quickly, you're looking at mixed use properties, warehouses, things of that nature. Obviously, a big building, those things are going to be looked at as commercial online.
And you and hard money will do that for them.
Oh man, they love it. Love it.
I love it.
Yep.
All right, so tell them. Go ahead, my friend. Sorry.
LTVs are going to be. Let me throw this out there. I don't want to sell any dreams.
No, please do, because you'll get a million phone calls.
Yeah. No. The LTVs are a little bit lower because it's commercial, and that's to be expected, right? You're going to get an appraisal, you're going to get a survey, all those good things, but it's absolutely worth it. Absolutely, we have a problem.
And in Derek's world, that is primarily going to be attached to tangible assets. We're going to bring on some people that do the intangible side as well as an investor, because there's people buying businesses, but that doesn't have a storefront. So we'll talk about that. There's a lot of ways that we want to educate you. If you have ideas, please reach out to me or Derek. But we're going to be doing this weekly. So we kicked it off today, and we'll be doing it every Monday. Derek, how can they find out more about you now that we've encouraged them and told them how amazing you are? How can they find out more about what you do?
They can call me. They can connect with me. My calendar is on my website. They can go to Instagram, which is Mr. Carmichael, or they can go to my Facebook, which is Carmichael Investments. Reach out, and I am wide open. I'm an open book. I will spend time with you. We can talk about it. And I'm here. Let's do it.
I love it. I'm excited. All right. Every week, Mr. Carmichael, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. InvestorYOU is all about you guys and educating. So if you have questions, you have guests, you have stories you want to share, please reach out. Every week we'll be live, and you'll be able to ask the questions live. So look for the weekly reminder. Sign up for that. Derek, thank you so much. Such a blessing to be with you always. It's InvestorYOU. It's all about you guys. We'll see you soon. See you next week. Bye, everybody.